What's up, guys? It is Corbin Stuckey of PixelTalk here. Guys, I'm so sorry it's taken so long to get this movie review up. If you guys watched my last video, I'm just going to repeat the same thing I did in that last video because some people watch my videos just for the trailer reactions, some people just watch my videos for the movie reviews, so I'm just going to repeat the same thing that I said in that last video. I have been so busy because I just graduated college. I'm back home from Orlando and I'm just chilling out for a little bit. I am trying to find some job placements, but I'm just kind of relaxing because I've been at Full Sail for 2 years, and I've just been hanging out with family and going to the movies. But this is a movie that I've wanted to talk about for a while. I saw this a couple weeks ago, and I saw it again tonight, so I can just refresh my memories on the movie. And what movie is that, you ask? Ready Player One. Let's talk about this movie. Ready Player One is directed by Steven Spielberg. It is based on the book. I've heard that there are some differences between the book and the movie, so I'm just gonna review the film. I actually haven't read the book, so this is just gonna be a movie review. This isn't gonna be like a comparison or anything like that. So Ready Player One takes place in the near future where basically everyone has a VR headset. They live in this world called the Oasis where society basically hangs out now. People can dress and look the way they want. There is an economy there, and it's all thanks to this guy named James Halliday, who is basically the Steve Jobs of this movie. He created the Oasis. He's responsible for basically everyone being inside their homes now. They don't really go to the outside world to interact anymore. Everything happens in this virtual reality. And when Halliday dies, he leaves behind this contest where every player has to find these 3 keys so one player can own his company. And the movie follows this kid named Wade, who's played by the guy who played Cyclops in the X-Men movies, the prequel, X-Men, prequel, sequel movies, whatever you want to call it. He's a big fan of Halliday. He loves pop culture, like me. And one day he solves a clue that gives him the first key and he becomes a celebrity in the Oasis. I've been really excited for this film, just because Steven Spielberg is one of my favorite directors, and we haven't really seen a Steven Spielberg movie in a while, and this movie shows because he's been working on this film, obviously, for a while. It really shows. Honestly, watching this film, I have no idea how they did some of the stuff that they did, because I don't know if they did motion capture or mostly animation. I'm definitely going to be buying the Blu-ray to gain a better understanding of how this was made, because this film is really fun to look at. I really enjoyed it. I really loved the film itself. I loved how it pays a tribute to pop culture and all the characters that were involved as forms of Easter eggs. There were definitely a lot of callbacks to my childhood that even I was unaware that Steven Spielberg knew what any of these things were. And honestly, after seeing this, I kind of respect him now. You can tell that like he really understands pop culture, and this film just showcases that he knows more than we thought. Steven Spielberg is a guy that loves to please his fans, and he likes to showcase in this film like, hey, I know what this is, and I'm putting it in this film as an Easter egg. And this film is covered with Easter eggs. It doesn't get to the point where it overwhelms the audience. The stuff is just kind of put in there just for fun, and it doesn't really affect the plot whatsoever. The plot still is able to move forward with these characters, but it's just really fun seeing these characters and, you know, being able to point out like, oh, there's that video game character, there's that film character. Not gonna go into spoilers as to who specifically we see, because I want you guys to see this film and be able to point out your favorite characters. You're bound to find someone that you know in this film. This film has basically everybody. Well, not necessarily everybody, but I was able to point out like over 30 characters that I knew. And like I said, these cameos and Easter eggs don't hinder the film. You're still able to watch this film as a film. The characters are still able to progress, there's still a plot, and even if you don't know like much about pop culture and you're watching this for the first time, it doesn't really matter. You can easily just watch this film where there are players in this universe who can become anything they want. And you can just be like, oh, that's just a guy trying to be a creature. But there are often times where that person is actually a character from a different franchise. And with a Steven Spielberg film, you're also going to be seeing a lot of Steven Spielberg characters and film tributes in this. And I really enjoyed that as well because, I don't know, I just feel like with everything going on nowadays, like Marvel and Star Wars, I think we often forget sometimes that Steven Spielberg is basically responsible for everything that we've experienced as kids in regards to films. So I'm glad that there's a film out there that pays tribute to Steven Spielberg films, even though it was directed by Steven Spielberg. Narcissism! No, I'm kidding. I like the characters in this. I really appreciated how the film let me focus on these characters and was able to move forward while still caring about every one of them. These were like kids who were just playing video games and they were just trying to win this prize. My one complaint about the characters though, they don't really focus a whole lot on their backstories. The backstories are mentioned in this film, but it's not really the main focus. A lot of the times the characters are in the Oasis, which totally makes sense. That's the film. That's the point of the film. The characters are in the Oasis because that's their society norm. That's where they all basically hang out. But there's not really a heavy focus on the characters' backstories, especially Wade. I really wish that we would have seen Wade interact with his aunt more in this film, because obviously that's like the only family member that he has, and you barely get to see any interaction with him and his aunt. They're only in like one scene together. And after that, there's a scene and there's a phone call, and that's really about it. I really wish that we could have seen a little bit more of his home life. There's only really a couple scenes that portray home abuse, and that's about it. But besides that, I was able to put that aside because I just really enjoyed this film. I think the film really knew what it wanted to focus on, and it mentioned the character backstories, but it didn't let it overwhelm us. It's a Spielberg film. It's actually like a really feel-good film. You understand the characters' backstories and the plot's able to move forward, but you know, it doesn't drown us, which I really appreciated about it. Now, the world that is portrayed in this film, there are some things I bought. I could totally see a future where everyone basically interacts through a VR. I feel like we're getting really close to that, and I think that's just going to become a norm one day. Maybe not now, but it's totally plausible. I could totally see us living in a society where we get money from just doing certain things in a virtualistic world, especially with the way that Amazon Prime is right now. I mean, like, that's kind of like a given. You're gonna have that in the future where basically everyone is buying stuff from home. It's already happening. And now the unrealistic parts of this film. I don't see everyone having enough money to buy a VR headset. You see this neighborhood that Wade lives in where basically RVs are stacked on top of each other. And it's portrayed that he lives in a very poor environment. But how are all these people able to afford to buy VR headsets? Where did they get the money? They're poor. So that's just something that I found while watching this film. It's like, it seems that everyone has this. Like, you have to go to GameStop to buy a PSVR headset for $300, let alone a treadmill that goes both ways, an Omni, whatever you want to call it, I don't even know. But honestly, with the way that this film is, I pushed all of that aside because it's just such a fun film. It's really enjoyable to watch, and I was completely immersed in this universe, and I wanted to go there. I wanted to become one of my favorite characters. I really bought that this could actually be a thing that could happen in the future. So yes, guys, I totally love Ready Player One. I think everyone should go see it. I know there's been a lot of stuff that's been coming out as of late, but I don't want everyone to forget about this film. I think it's really great. I think if you haven't seen this film, you should definitely go check it out. And yeah, I definitely am going to put this on my top 10 films of 2018. But for now it's going to be my top 10, but until we've seen more movies that have come out this year, I don't know. We're just going to have to wait, but as of now, I like this film. I love it. It's a really good film. Guys, thank you so much for being patient with this review. I really appreciate it. I know I've been incredibly busy and I haven't been uploading videos as much as I should have. Like I said, I've just been really busy. I've been trying to find a job. There's going to be more reviews coming soon. I really need to do a review for A Quiet Place. Love that film too. I'm going to be doing my review soon. And other two films that came out this weekend that, yeah, we're going to talk about those. Also, guys, just want to let you know, I am getting God of War this Friday. I'm probably going to be streaming on Twitch or YouTube. I haven't really decided yet. I should probably stream on Twitch because I want to gain more followers. So if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, I'm going to be leaving that in the description down below. Alright guys, comment down below what you thought of Ready Player One. Like this video, share it, and please subscribe to PixelTalk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is PixelTalk.